So I've got good news and bad news for you people wanting a BYD electric car. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Thank you for subscribing, for supporting the channel. It's great to have you here. Welcome to all your 66,000 smiling faces. I'm back in Melbourne. Great to be back. Stoked to be home again. And you know what? I've been up all night making videos instead of sleeping because, well, I've gotten a bit behind on things. And this is the kind of news that I find really, really interesting. Now, on top of the fact that over the past 3 months, ternary batteries, or the kind of batteries used by pretty much every legacy auto company, are losing ground massively in China to lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are the type of batteries that BYD specialize in. BYD are the second largest manufacturer in the world of LFP batteries. And they've just released a new version of their BYD Tang EV. It's one of BYD's most popular electric vehicles. And in fact, it's actually one of the most popular electric vehicles on the face of the earth. This new update provides an option. There's now a longer range version. The batteries are more efficient and the battery pack is bigger. And it now provides 720 kilometers of range. As soon as BYD, made this vehicle available, they received 48,000 pre-orders in the space of 6 hours. 48,000 pre-orders in 6 hours in a market that's saturated with different EVs, right? Now, we're not talking about the US here. We're not talking about Europe here. We're talking about China, where there is so many models of EV, I just don't know them all. There are so many. I've done hundreds of hours of research and I still don't know them all. I'm still surprised when I go, oh, didn't know about that vehicle. Oh, didn't know about that one. Oh, wow. And yet, BYD gets an additional 48,000 pre-orders on top of the 400,000 pre-orders that they already have as a backlog of orders. So how many pre-orders do they have now? Don't know exactly. I'm going to guess it's around 450,000. How much does it cost? Well, the new Tang EV starts at around 42,000 US dollars and goes up to around 47,000 US dollars for the top spec model. Not cheap, but not expensive considering what you're getting here. It's similar in size. Actually, it's probably between a Tesla Model 3 and a Tesla Model S in terms of its actual size. Definitely bigger than a Model 3, slightly smaller than a Tesla Model S. So this is the bad news. These new variants and all these pre-orders that we're seeing now will undoubtedly make the wait for BYD consumers to get deliveries even longer. BYD's pre-orders have now reached 450,000 and they're still increasing every single month. If you own BYD stock, well, it's probably pretty good for you. The stock price has gone up a fair bit lately and I can see that happening even more. Surely it can't be that long until, the rest of the world realizes what's really going on here, that BYD will become, within a matter of only maybe 5 years, one of the 3 largest vehicle companies on the earth. Now, last month, BYD delivered well over 100,000 plug-in hybrids and EVs. They don't sell gas cars anymore, just plug-in hybrids and EVs. And this year, they'll likely deliver around about 1.6 to 1.7 million. In fact, they're actually aiming for 2 million as their stretch target. So what's the good news, you might say, Viking? Well, this is all bad news. I mean, are cars going to be delayed? Well, I'm not saying they're going to be delayed, but I don't imagine there'll be a whole lot of leftover production. Now, apparently there's going to be 6 different electric vehicle models coming to global markets, right? One of those apparently is this Tang EV. Now, if they just got 50,000 pre-orders, which they clearly did, what does that mean for you, me? Well, it means we're going to have to wait longer. Same thing will happen with the BYD Tang, the new updated SUV, electric SUV. There's not many vehicles like it in the world. I made a review on that video on why a lot of people are going to want it, I think. We're going to see the same issues repeating themselves. There's really no reason for BYD to prioritize a country like Australia or countries such as Europe when they have so much demand in their own country. And it's so much easier for them to simply satisfy that demand. Well, at least attempt to. Clearly that isn't working right now. So one good bit of news here is that BYD's 5th car plant will start production within 2 days. BYD's industrial park in Fuzhou City, Jiangxi province, will start mass production on April the 15th. And that's its 5th car production plant in China. The 1.5 billion RMB industrial park covers at least 2 million square meters and has a planned end of production capacity of over 200,000 EVs, according to Chinese media reports. As I've reported previously, BYD has stopped building internal combustion engine vehicles, period. Well, not period, okay. It does sell plug-in hybrids. They stopped building purely ICE vehicles, which is good news for BYD and for consumers. In a conservative scenario, BYD is aiming to sell 1.5 million vehicles this year. But sales for the company are actually expected to exceed 2 million in its minutes during its meeting for the first quarter this year. Now, BYD currently has 4 different car factories in China. Apparently, they have a reported production capacity of over 600,000 vehicles per year. However, this is the interesting part that no one really is mentioning at all, which is surprising to me. BYD is currently building 4 new vehicle plants in China. 4, not 1, 4. In addition to that, it's also building a battery gigafactory, which will be finished by the end of this year, and will be able to provide 100 gigawatt hours of batteries per year. That puts BYD in a very, very, very powerful position. In fact, a much more powerful position than virtually any of its competitors, bar maybe Tesla. Imagine if Volkswagen could be in the same position. Surely they would wake up and think everything was this amazing pipe dream, right? 100 gigawatt hours of batteries, your own cell production, your own pack production, you make your own motors, you make your own semiconductor chips. Everything is done by you. Your destiny is in your control. No legacy auto company can say that. None of them can say that. They're all reliant on somebody. They've all got these massive factories they're going to have to write off. They've got all this production equipment making old vehicles, which are going to have to be eventually written off at some point. BYD are in a very, very strong position. Do they need the global marketplace? Do they need to ship these 6 EVs this year to you? Probably not. Do they want it? Absolutely. Will you be able to buy an electric vehicle from BYD soon? Well, yeah, of course. We're going to get the Atto 3 this year in Australia. And some other places as well, obviously. Norway has BYD Tang EVs. They're coming to different European countries this year as well. But I see the numbers coming to countries outside of China definitely decreasing versus what we might have expected this year based on the incredible demand they're seeing in China. Remember, they did increase the price of their vehicles, but only by a very, very small amount. So BYD's EVs currently are incredibly good value. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.